Simpson?
Correct, yes.
All right, and your Nevada Department of Corrections ID number for the record, 102-7820.
Correct.
I am Parole Commissioner Susan Jackson, and with me is hearing representative Mr. Robin Bates.
Good morning. Good morning.
And Mr. Bates and I are a panel to hear you for your first parole hearing before our board, and we are hearing you today on case number C237890, counts 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Count 4 is a 26 to 120-month sentence for burglary with a firearm or deadly weapon. Counts 5 and 6 are kidnapping 1; those are 60 to 180-month sentences. And count number 7 and 8 are two 60 to 180-month sentences for robbery. You are eligible for parole on these sentences on the 2nd of October of 2013. Projected expiration date currently is the 6th of May of 2016. If you were to be granted a parole by our board, it would be to a consecutive sentence. There are 4 running concurrent, all of which are 12 to 72-month sentences for use of a deadly weapon enhancement. Is that your understanding?
I believe so. 4 that are running concurrent.
That is correct, sir. The consecutive sentences are running concurrent as well.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. About a month ago, you received notice of this hearing and advisement of rights through your caseworker. I'm going to put that document up on the screen and ask that you would please verify your signature.
It's my signature.
All right, thank you. That indicates to our panel you've been properly noticed for this hearing today, and we can go ahead and continue on. And so with that, Mr. Simpson, is there a statement that you would like to make to our panel today?
Yes. I arrived here at Lovelock nearly 5 years ago, and when I met the then warden and Miss Megan and Mrs. Carpenter, they told me what was expected of me here, and I gave them my word that I would try to be, or would be, the best prisoner they've ever had here. And I think for the most part I've kept my word on that. I've not had any incidences, despite all the stories in the tabloids and everything. I haven't had one incident since I've been here. I think on a daily basis I speak to more inmates and COs than anybody here. Inmates tell me their stories. Some of them tell me their crimes, and as far as burglary, which I'm here for, or robbery, I should say, they've told me every kind of story you can hear. Guys who have robbed banks, have robbed casinos, even one guy who robbed a gun shop, which I thought took a lot of guts. The difference between all of their crimes and mine is they were trying to steal other people's property. They were trying to steal other people's money. My crime was trying to retrieve from my family my own property that had been stolen from me, and property that since I've been here at Lovelock, the state of California's judiciary has ruled was my stuff, and I have it back now. Make no mistake, I would give it all back to these guys. They could have it all to get these last 5 years back. They've been somewhat illuminating at times and painful a lot of times. I've missed my 2 younger kids who we worked hard getting through high school. I've missed their college graduations. I've missed my daughters, my sisters, I should say, funeral. I missed all the birthdays and various things. When I went to that place that night, I had already discussed it with my kids. I spoke about it with my sister and brother-in-law, older sister and brother-in-law, who were originally going to go with me up until the last hour. I even talked to 2 lawyers about it. One the night before that I knew, and had a conversation with a lawyer that day who I didn't know. I had no intention. My intent was not to rob from anybody. I knew both of these guys who had my stuff. I was a little upset with them, and I think I wasn't as civil as I should have been. I brought some guys with me who I didn't really know, and one I didn't trust, and that's on me. For that, I've been here for 5 years, and all I could do about it since I've been here is be as respectful and as straightforward as I could be with the staff here at Lovelock, and do my time as best as I can do it. I am sorry for what has happened. I have spoken at length to both of the victims. They've apologized. I've apologized. I know their families. They know my families, and I just wish I had never gone to that room. I wish I didn't. I wish I'd have just said keep it and not worry about it. Other than that, I'm just sorry that all of this had to happen.
All right, thank you for your statement. We are going to take a look at your risk assessment. That is a guideline that we use here at the Parole Board. It is a statistical instrument, giving us an indication what kind of a risk you would be, and also a recommendation that the Board does consider. It is similar to what you went over with your caseworker to prepare for this hearing today. It's an important document. It's important that it's accurately scored, and I want to go over it with you factor by factor. All right? Okay, your age at first arrest was how old?
61, maybe? 60 or 61.
Okay, the PSI indicates that in 1994 you were arrested at the age of 46.
We're talking about this case?
No, the age at first arrest, even as a juvenile. How old were you the first time you were arrested, for any reason?
I think about 46, yes.
Okay, no juvenile arrests then?
No.
Okay. You've had no revocations of supervision, either of probation or parole. You were retired, and that is considered full-time employment in the 12 months prior to incarceration. The instant offense is a property conviction, so we've scored you for that. How about substance abuse? Did alcohol contribute to this instant offense in any way or manner?
It could have. I was celebrating a wedding, and I had been drinking all day. I didn't feel that I was drunk, but I also didn't feel that I was capable of driving an automobile and would not have driven an automobile. That's why I was looking for someone to take me. Okay, and substance abuse been a problem in your past at all, or cause a serious disruption in functioning for you? Okay. Currently you are 66 years of age? Yes.
All right, and you are not a gang member. The NDOC does not have you validated as being a member of a gang. I do see that you have done some programming. Have you had an opportunity to do any long-term program?
No, I think I've done the victim impact. I'm listed on the commitment to change. I've been waiting to get into that, and I'm listed at this point on the waiting list. And I'm told that some of the programs they have here, I don't qualify for yet. But I've been outside so long programming.
Right. We note that you've had no disciplinary write-ups. That is expected by the board, and we appreciate the fact that you have not had any disciplinary write-ups there at the institution in Lovelock. And you are in medium custody currently at Lovelock. You score 3 points on the risk assessment instrument, which is in a low-risk category. And we take the guideline risk and couple it with the offense severity of highest, and the guideline recommendation for the board is to consider factors. So we are going to be considering aggravating and mitigating factors. Aggravating factors in your case are the impact on your victims here, as they did fear for their safety, and also incurred a substantial financial loss. Mitigating factors are you have been disciplinary free during your term of incarceration. You do have multiple consecutive sentences that are yet pending, and you have no conviction history in your criminal history. So if we were to parole you to your consecutive sentence, what would be your plan? What do you plan on doing there?
I continue to work the way I am here, take what courses are available to me. Once again, I would take the one that I'm waiting for now, commitment to change. I find the courses somewhat educational, even though at times it's tough to hear some of the other guys' things, but it has been somewhat educational for me. And I would probably take the AA course, just more to help my kids, when the day comes that I get out, and just to understand it better. I've never have taken any kind of AA or NA courses.
All right, Mr. Bates?
You're approaching 5 years now at Lovelock. Tell us about your work assignments. How have you occupied your time for the past 5 years?
When I first came here, I was a porter, which comprised of cleaning things in the unit that I was in. And basically, after a relatively short period of time, I started working as a gym worker, where I help supervise the activities in the gym. I start each day disinfecting the workout equipment in the gym, mopping floors with the other group of us that work in the gym. I've coached teams since I've been here. And I like to say we won the championship, and we were old guys and a totally mixed group of players. I didn't play, I just coached. I umpire games, essentially. That's what I do. Also, because I guess my age, guys come to me. I'm sure the powers here know that I advise a lot of guys, and I've like to feel that I've kept a lot of trouble from happening since I've been here by getting involved in some conflicts that some of the individuals here have had. But essentially, that's what I do.
We talked about your future plans as far as programming, and you said that you're on waiting lists for programming at Lovelock. If you were granted a parole, do you have any plans to request a transfer? Is there some other place that you'd like to be in the Department of Corrections?
No, I found that I, to some degree, feel lucky I ended up here. As to some extent distasteful as some of the majority of the crimes are that's here, I find that there's no stress. I find that there's virtually no gang activity happening here. And honestly, I feel respected to some degree by most of the inmates here, and they, as I say, come to me at times for advice and to talk over their problems.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right, Mr. Simpson, I'd also like you to know that there are 2 letters of support that are contained in your file, one being written by Dr. John Rouse. He's written a letter of support. And your eldest daughter wrote a letter of support to our board on behalf of your 4 children.
No. Well, understand that I have worked diligently to keep my kids out of the media over the years, to the point where most people wouldn't recognize my kids other than my oldest daughter. And even though they all wanted to come here, I was told there was a lot of media was going to be around, so I asked them to write a letter and not to come.
All right. Before we excuse you and deliberate on your case, is there anything that you would like to consider or anything else that you would like to say today?
Other than what I've said, I wish this wouldn't have never happened. When something's done by friends, I think in my case it hurt me more than the actual fact that they had these things. The fact that guys that I knew their families, they've eaten at my home, and maybe that upset me more and made me less civil than I normally would have been under those circumstances. But I will reiterate that at no point did I go there to take any property from anybody that didn't belong to me, and that's no excuse, probably by the way we acted, by the guys that I brought with me and the way we acted when we were there. I really regret that. I've had that conversation, this conversation with both Bruce and Beardsley, and we, for the most part, has put it behind us. But I am just sorry that I had to send the state of Nevada legal system through all of this, because I know it's not been fun for the people involved, as much as it's not been pleasant for me.
All right, and you would agree this had some great impact on your victims in this case?
Yes. I think it has.
All right. Mr. Bates and I will deliberate on your case today, give a recommendation to the full board. It does take a majority of 4 of the 7 commissioners to grant or deny parole. An order is then forwarded to your caseworker and should have results within about 2 weeks. Okay?
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.